welcome to another Wednesday training. And this is a topic that is a particular favourite of mine, purely because I've had some really good results with it. I've had some good feedback with it with clients for all different sort of reasons for wanting to do it. Today's topic is all about intermittent fasting, or what some people like to call time restricted eating, further mentioned as TRE in this training. So yeah, a lot of you may have heard of intermittent fasting over the years. Some of you may have already tried it, but today we're going to talk about the benefits of intermittent fasting, or TRE, and we're going to talk about ways that you can do this. And as I said, it's one of my favorite things to do, especially to regulate myself a little bit and stop myself from overeating, which is something that we all can do from time to time. So TRE, or intermittent fasting, it's not a diet, but rather a type of an eating pattern. So in simple terms, time restrictive eating is making a conscious decision to skip certain meals on purpose and eat within a specific window. And this is a process of fasting and feasting, or eating during a specific window of the day and choosing not to eat at other times for a larger window of time. Because we are I always get this word wrong, diurnal, I always say this wrong, diurnal? I think it's diurnal, yes. Because we're diurnal, we're humans and we're active during the day, we're not nocturnal. Our bodies are designed to eat and not consume fuel within a 12-hour window. So our natural metabolizing enzymes may not function properly when eating outside of this window, as they would during a 12-hour window. And this can create problems like fat storage, diabetes, and other complications. And fat storage is one of the big ones, and the reasons why a lot of people choose to give fasting a go, because of the benefits that they can get, especially if they reach plateaus, they're already on low calories and they're not getting any shift from week to week. This can be something of interest to those people who want to get back on track and boost that fat loss again. So bear with me a second. So for those reasons, this is a topic which is sometimes something that comes up when we are looking to lose weight. And there are many, many health benefits associated with fasting. It allows our organs the time they need to properly rest, recover, and rejuvenate, which is a really, really big thing. We always think about resting our bodies after training and all that kind of stuff. But when do we ever really consider our insides and our internal organs? And but this is, this part of our body is the part that we really rely on when it comes to actively functioning properly, not sluggish. And when we are looking to reduce body fat, it's our internal organs that work together with the things that we do on the outside of our body to make these things happen. So allowing our organs time to rest and recover and rejuvenate is really, really important and often overlooked. As I say, just like our muscles need time to recover after exercise, your organs need the same. Our organs need rest from constantly working to produce insulin and other metabolic enzymes. And when we consume food, our pancreas has to produce insulin. Our GI tract needs to rejuvenate microbiome, and our liver and our gallbladder have to produce digestive enzymes to break down the food and absorb those nutrients. So there's a lot going on. And when we're constantly eating, we never really have much of a break aside from sleep. Our organs never really get a break. So we're constantly stimulating these organs by eating frequent and all like large meals, and they can become overworked and sluggish. So commonly, our bodies run on a 4-hour cycle during the day when we're eating, eating approximately every 3 to 4 hours. And the body only gets a break, as I said, when we're actually asleep, so around 8 hours a night, extending this time period allows for more rest, which in turn makes for digestive enzymes to become more available for the next meal. This is especially important for those who suffer from indigestion issues like IBS, colitis, constipation, or irregularities. So in fact, some of our clients or some of my clients who suffer from IBS, and if this is you or a similar health issue, these people attest to the benefits of fasting. So if this is you, it's something that you might want to consider giving a go to see if it makes any difference. So let's talk about why we might fast. So humans have actually been fasting on purpose for thousands of years. This is nothing new. Nothing I'm teaching you here is new. It's just something that you may have not considered that, might work for you. So various religions such as Islam, Christianity, Muslim, what's the other one? Buddhism, mandate some form of fasting. Interestingly, animals also often intrinsically fast when they're sick. If you've had cats or dogs in the house, you'll see when they're off their food, it's a signal to go and take them to the vet. And it's not that they are doing it because they are not able to eat. The animal is doing it because they know it fixes the problem. And that's sometimes a lot of the problem with the human, is that we don't fix the problem by stopping eating. We continue to eat through sickness and illness when sometimes our body could gratefully benefit from not doing so. There's nothing unnatural about fasting, as it seems. And our bodies are very well equipped to handle extended periods of not eating. All sorts of processes in the body change when we don't eat for a while. And they change in order to allow our bodies to thrive during a period of famine, as it were. So it has to do with hormones, genes, and important cellular repair processes. I can't say some words, for the love of God, I try. So let's get you a little bit of a guide here. Who wants to give it a go? Hands in the air. Anyone on the replay, drop me a yes, I want to do this in the comments so I know that you're watching. And if you've already done intermittent fasting, drop in the comments now. Tell us about your experience and what you found with it. So if you're up for it, you want to give it a go, here's my guide. So when we're fasted, we get significant reductions in blood sugar and insulin levels. We also see a drastic increase in the human growth hormone, which in turn improves muscle growth, fat loss, and endurance. All the things we want, okay, are just simply in the hands of not eating for a while. Many people, they do intermittent fasting in order to lose weight. Okay, I've been one of them. A lot of my clients do the same. As it is simple, it's easy, and it's an effective way to restrict calories and then burn your fat. So others do it for metabolic health reasons. And they do it because it can improve various health markers in the treatment of rheumatic diseases, chronic pain syndromes, also the one, hypertension and metabolic syndrome. There are other benefits as well. I'm not going to go into them deeply because some of the wording and the verbiage here is just going to go straight over the top of your head. But briefly, quick run through. Also, fasting has led to decreases of LDL cholesterol, leptin, and insulin, and increases of, I always get this one wrong, adiponectin. Again, these things are going over the top of your head. If you really want to know more about this stuff, then do let me know. But adiponectin, a protein hormone involved in regulating glucose levels and fatty acid breakdowns, leptin receptors, and also fasting induced mood enhancement. Believe it or not, when we fast, we can increase our mood. By increasing our mood, naturally, decreases anxiety, decreases depression, fatigue, and it improves general vigor. So those are the things, the pros of fasting. And then there's the other reason people fast is convenience. It's simple, it's easy, it's effective. It's a life hack that makes your life simpler while improving your health at the same time. So, you know, double whammy there. And also the fewer meals you need to plan for, the simpler your life's going to be. You know, not having to eat 3 or 4 times a day, you know, not having to prepare this food, not have to clean up this food, you know, saves a lot of time. You know, also saves a lot of money. If you're not eating, you're not buying food. Many other benefits of fasting. I'm going to rapidly run through them here. So you've got things like, let's get my notes. Loads of stuff. So we've got rapid fat loss, improved endurance, increased muscle mass, increased mitochondria, increased red blood cells, metabolic rate, rejuvenated stem cells, brain cells, replenishes the gut, so the good bacteria. It's a natural detox, a natural cleanse for your body and your receptors. It's an increase in insulin sensitivity, an increase in the growth hormone, and it's a decrease in the IGF-1. So look those things up. I will post some notes on this. There's a lot to consider in terms of the benefits, but again, I'm not going to go into it too deeply here. We want to get into the nitty-gritty now of what it is and how to do it and which option is going to work best for us. So for me, there's 2 ways to do this. You've got 2 approaches. The first approach is the 16-8 protocol, and the other approach is the 24-hour protocol. I know which one I prefer. I have done the 24-hour fast once in my life. And do you know what? It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. For some reason, my mind was just geared up to do it. I just woke up one morning. I just decided, without putting too much thought into it, that I just needed to just not eat. And I did it last summer. And it felt so good. I felt so good. And the more the day went on, the more better I felt. It was just incredible. But to plan it for someone like me who loves their food, I can't say it's something I'm going to do on a regular basis, but the 16-8 protocol might be a good place for you to start. It might be somewhere in the region of what you're already doing. So this protocol is great. It's great for maintaining weight, improving fat loss, and obviously portion control. The improving fat loss has, with my clients, been a massive factor for people that are not budging. It's not, the scales aren't moving. We're already on low calories. We're working towards body composition, so building lean tissue so we can improve the metabolism, but that takes time. But at the same time, we want to see those, you know, those fat percentages drop, you know, and it's frustrating. So chuck in the 16-8 protocol and you might start to see some massive improvements. So what is 16-8? So 16 is your fasting period. You're fasting for 16 hours and then you're only eating within a specific 8-hour window. So for example, fasting between 7 o'clock at night, go to bed about 8, half 8, 9 or whatever, get up in the morning and then you're not eating until 11 o'clock, okay? And then you're feasting from 11 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock at night again, where you will stop. Some people, I know a lot of people that only eat in a 6-hour window, or I know 4-hour window. I know one guy in LA who's in my industry. He's a big guy. He's built up. He is a keto follower. I don't have any issues with keto. It works for him. He eats 1 meal a day. You should see him. You should see him. Go and check him out. What's his name? I forget what his name is. Owen McKibben. He's been on the front. He's a friend of mine I've known for years. He's been on the front cover of Men's Health, God, thousands of times. He's known very well in the industry for his role in fitness. And this is something he does, and he eats once a day like a dog. I had this conversation with him literally just last week, and I was like, once a day, what kind of meal is that? Is that a big meal? It's like, yeah, it's a big meal. But at the same time, he never eats carbs. Well, he never eat carbs, a very small amount of carbs. 1 massive meal a day. You should see the guy. He's stacked, absolutely stacked. Owen McKibben, go and check him out. He lives in Santa Monica. But he's he's a peer in the fitness industry, especially a peer to me. Anyway, but we will get to the feasting details in just a little bit. So these are the times when you're not going to eat. Okay. So this is feasting and fasting, parts of our days, and the most common form of intermittent fasting. So it's also one of our go-to methods of eating, especially when wanting to cut down on calories. So you can adjust the window, okay? Make it your own, make it personal to you. Adjust the window to make it work for your lifestyle. So here's an example. Start eating at 7 in the morning, stop eating at 3. If you start eating at 9, stop eating at 5. 11 in the morning, stop eating at 7. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, stop eating at 9. So ask yourself what your routine looks like. What times are you working? What times are you training? What times are you doing, doing your stuff? And when would this pattern best suit you? So make sure whatever you do, you've only got an 8-hour window in which you do eat food. I recommend doing these fasts 2 to 3 times a week. Some people prefer to do it every day. It's not something I've done every day, but when I have done it, I have felt the benefit, and I have seen the benefit if I have done it consecutively for at least 5 days. Let's talk about what can we have during our fast. What are we going to have when we're not eating? You have to consume plenty of water during a fast to get all the benefits from it. It just won't work otherwise. I generally consume an additional 2 litres the day that I fast, which brings me to approximately 4 litres total for the day. It's a lot, but if you're not eating, you've got to do something else. And sometimes that can get rid of the hunger. When we increase our water intake, our body can promote a natural diuretic state and begin flushing excess water out of our system. So in order to retain some of this water to help you and your muscles stay hydrated, I suggest, well, this is what I do, adding a 1/4 teaspoon of salt to, I make it up a 4 litre jug of water, or take a sodium tablet. If you're going to make up a 2 litre jug of water, obviously 1/8 of a teaspoon. But for this example, a 1/4 teaspoon, 4 litre jug of water, or you could take a sodium tablet. The sodium is going to help retain some of that water to keep your muscles and organs nice and happy and keep your energy levels up. This applies specifically to those who weight train at the end of a 24-hour fast, and that's it. But it doesn't hurt to keep your sodium levels up anyway. But if you are weight training at the end of a 24-hour fast, you're not breaking that fast, you're going straight into training, please do add some sodium to your water. Now, here's an important note. Most guides you may read about intermittent fasting say that black or green tea and coffee is all okay as long as you keep your calories under 15 during your fast. But as soon as you consume any calories, like food, tea, coffee, sweeteners, anything that your body has to metabolize, your body will begin to produce metabolic enzymes. This is now taking you out of your fast at a cellular level, and it kickstarts your 12-hour metabolic cycle. And it defeats the purpose of fasting for metabolic health and healing. So remember, when we go beyond our 12-hour window of eating, your metabolic enzymes begin to shut down and they become less responsive. So if your goal for fasting is metabolic health improvements for reborn energy, recharging your batteries, you might have been, indulging it and you just want to let your organs just rest. Water is all that is allowed in order for a full rest of your organs. Now, I'm not massive on BCAAs or essential amino acids. I think we should be getting enough from our food. I don't take them. I don't believe in them. I think they're a load of crap. I think they're also a waste of money. Some people will say, if you're reading up on this topic, if fat loss is your only goal and you aren't concerned about the metabolic healing and you are weight training during your fasting window, some people recommend to drink EAAs, which are essential amino acids, during your workout to prevent muscle breakdown and promote protein synthesis. But I say that's a load of crap and it's not essential, because you're only fasting for a short window. I mean, what can happen? You're not going to break down muscle that rapidly in a 24-hour period just because you didn't eat. Body doesn't work that way. So if you're reading up on this topic and that comes up, disregard it. It's a load of bullshit and it's just marketing ploy, and people are just sucked in by this stuff. Oh, I've got to have my BCAAs, I've got to keep my, my muscle growth going on, blah, blah, blah. It's just total rubbish. What's going to happen in 24 hours? Bugger all. That's what's going to happen. Your muscle's still going to be there the very next day. So here's a note for you. You are more than likely going to experience some gut-wrenching hunger around the 14th hour to the 21st hour when doing a 24-hour fast. This will be the hardest part of your fast, in my personal opinion. How do we get through it? We just power through it. Get past this 10 to 15 minute gut ache, okay? And then you're hopefully going to be smooth sailing. Just keep your water intake in place. Now let's talk about the fun bit. We're going to eat again. So we're still on the 16-8 protocol. What are we going to do when we feast? And this is so rewarding when you get to this point. So if you're following the 16-8 protocol, you're fasting 16 hours and you're feasting for 8, you will eat your entire day's worth of food or calories in an 8-hour time frame. So you can combine meals together if you wish, or keep them staggered an hour apart, maybe a tiny bit more, but be sure you do not eat into the fasting window. So keep it to the minute in the 8-hour time frame. Note this though, you may feel quite full after all this food. So take advantage of that, enjoy your good night's sleep. You may also sweat when you eat the first meal. And this is your thermic energy effect, or your TRE. This is absolutely normal. And it's a sign that your body is burning calories, breaking down the food that you consume. So you might get those sweats when you start eating. So let's talk about calorific meals. Okay, we all love, I know I don't call them cheat meals. You'll see that a lot in the industry. Cheat meals, load of rubbish. We all deserve to eat what we like. We just eat it, at, certain periods in the week. We don't eat calorific meals all week. We just eat them, maybe once or twice a week. I recommend fasting on the day of your calorific meal. If you are in a calorie deficit at the moment, you've got a big event coming up and you don't want to go without, but you don't want to fall off track with where you are at the moment with your weight loss, listen up. This is for you and it is perfect. It's a perfect way to almost reset your body, have a cleanse and stuff your face, stay on track and come out the other side, unscathed. This is the one you got to listen to. So I recommend fasting on the day of your calorific meal, breaking the fast with your high calorie meal. And you could also fast the following day. If you're planning your high calorie meal for Saturday night, stop eating at 7 p.m. Friday night and fast up until 11 a.m. on the Saturday of your fun meal. So try and consume the majority of your protein during the day leading up to your meal, leaving approximately 30 to 40 grams of protein for your treat meal. This will prevent overeating when you come to that indulgent meal, okay? So you're going to start eating again at 11 o'clock. You're going to indulge later on that day, but during that day, okay, eat, consume mostly protein, but leave 30 to 40 grams for your indulgent meal. This is going to help stop you from overeating on your indulgent meal and ensure that you've met your protein intake, which is super important. And it's also going to allow you to take full advantage of the spike in the metabolic rate. So That said, you must get your indulgent meal in before 7 p.m. If you've got an engagement and a party to go to and you know you're going to be eating well into the evening, move your timings around. Okay, so get your indulgent meal in by 7 p.m. if that's your time frame, if you're fasting the next day, or you'll have to extend your fasting window to accommodate. So if you're fasting 9 p.m. to 1 p.m., then do it like that. Okay, now let's talk about the big one. This is the one I would probably do, every now and again. It's the 24-hour fast. This is something I've done once before. It's a lot of people's preferred type of fasting, and it's where all the magic happens and your body has time to fully recover. This is where your liver is completely emptied of glycogen and your organs have rejuvenated their metabolic enzymes, as well as new microvilli, which are growing in your GI tract. These are the things that we are lacking. These are the things and the reasons why we take probiotics and Actimel and Yakults and stuff like that. Why spend a lot of money on this stuff when you could then rejuvenate yourself? Make sense? Makes sense. I'm not saying I don't have Actimel downstairs in the fridge, because I do, but we can't go around fasting all the time. So what is it? This is for advanced fasters and the most beneficial to your metabolic health. Fasting for 24 hours and then taking your calories missed for the day and divide them equally throughout the remainder of the week. I'll give you an example at the end. Or what you may want to have is 2 or 3 larger meals, perhaps one in the evening before bed and a big breakfast the following morning that totals up to your daily calories. So you might want to do it like that. We'll go into it in a minute. If you're cutting calories to lose fat, then this is a very effective way to drop a high number of calories for the week without eating tiny meals every day, which for me is just a bit of a tease. I wouldn't say doing this on a regular basis, but if you've got an occasion coming up and you want to get feeling your best for it, a 24-hour fast, maybe once or twice in the week leading up to that occasion, could be something that you might want to consider. But I personally wouldn't do it on a regular basis. I'm not a seasoned enough faster. I don't recommend that you eat your daily calories in one sitting to break up your fast. It's not going to be healthy and it's going to overload you. So keep your treat meal or your breakfast in moderation. So it'll be hard to achieve your protein intake, okay, if you eat it all at once. You will be, I know a lot of you struggle with your protein intake as it is. So to try and eat that all in one sitting is just not possible. You'll be overfull and you could create an indigestion. And now, I know what you're thinking. Well, some of you might be thinking this. I did mention this just a couple of minutes back. You'll be like, won't I be too catabolic and lose all my gains not eating for an entire day? When I mean catabolic, I mean that's when muscle tissue starts to break down. And that can happen when we're not hitting our trainings and eating adequately. No, it's not going to happen. You will not be catabolic enough to lose gains, especially not in a 24-hour period. If you keep doing it, then yes. Okay, you need to look at the bigger picture. Look at the entire week as a whole, not each day. That's like saying if you take a rest day from the gym, you lose your muscle you've worked for all week. It doesn't happen. So you won't lose the muscle when you fast. Your body still has got loads of glycogen stored in your muscle that will continue to be utilized as energy for up to 72 hours. So your body's a clever thing. So don't worry about any of that. You also have fat storage and ketones that become available, which is proven in studies previously to maintain protein synthesis. This is all deep level stuff. Unless you really want to get into it, I'll be honest with you, there's no real need because none of this is an issue. If you were to do more than 24-hour fasts, like if you were to do more than 2 or 3 of them a week, then I would be concerned, because a lack of nutrients in your body is going to be detriment to obviously progress, you know, and your body needs nutrients for optimal function. So keep the 24-hour fast 1 to 2 max a week. I mean, me, 1 a year. I like my food too much, but again, it's up to you what you do. The choice is yours on how you want to divide up the daily calories that you missed. And if you want the challenge and you're feeling up to it, this is the way I would go. So I'd suggest starting with the 16-hour and then working your way up, as it can be really challenging to jump in straight to a 24-hour. Also, when you're doing these longer fasts, it's important to keep your electrolytes up, as I mentioned before, and that's your sodium. So add a little bit of salt to your water. Yeah, I know, take a sodium pill, much better. So here's the example. So let's base this on me. When I am weight training to gain muscle, I will be on about 2,000 calories. Okay, so 2,000 times 7 is 14,000 calories a week. That's what I will consume. Now, if I fast for 24 hours, losing a whole day of calories, I would take those 2,000 calories and divide them up evenly throughout the week. Or what I would do is I would have two, this is the fun bit, I could divide them up evenly throughout the week and eat them back up. So that would be 2,000, can't think what that would be. Anyway, the way I like to do it, instead of dividing them up throughout the week and just having a little bit more each day, I like to have a blowout. So I have 2 large meals consisting of 1,000 calories each. I know, exciting, 1,000 calories. It's something that, you know, these are things that we don't think that we can do, but we can. And this can be done in the form of any treat meal. You know, alcohol is probably going to fall into that category because it's something that I don't drink a lot of. You know, I consider that a treat, you know. Let's just say I wanted to have 2 Big Macs, you know, fries, the whole shebang, you know, even the milkshakes, whatever I want, I can have it. So I can do it in the form of a treat meal or adding volume to the current meal plan. So an example for even distribution would be 250 calories, that was it, 250 calories added to the other 6 days of the week, or 500 calories added to 3 days of the week. So make sure you consume at least your lean body weight in grams of protein. So I'm 130 pounds. So I would ensure I consume 130 grams of protein of those calories. And we all know protein and carbs, 4 calories a gram, fats, 9 calories a gram. So we all know that. And you may want to track this by using MyFitnessPal, which we're all used to doing anyway. So food for thought. This is a recap because we're now at the end. Fasting for 24 hours. When your calorie intake is 2,000 calories per day, you break your 24-hour fast with a 500 calorie meal before you go to bed. You've now dropped 1,500 calories for the week. That's equivalent to 2 hours of HIIT cardio. How sweet is that? And that is how you reduce your calories in one hit, you know, and it's up to you if you want to distribute those throughout the week or just take a 500 calorie meal before bed, okay? And then imagine the weight loss. That is going to be just under half a pound in a day. I know, pretty good, right? A couple of last bits before we wrap up. Vitamins, no vitamins during your fast. Don't consume anything that your body has to metabolize. When should you work out? Work out first thing in the morning or as soon as you wake up before you break your fast. This is the point in our fast, our tummy's empty, our blood is focused on filling our muscles with oxygen and nitrogen, and it's not focused on digestion. And it creates a much better pump, a greater endurance that builds strength, or lean gains, as we like to call it. If you're doing a 24-hour fast, I recommend you use that day as your rest day from the gym for total body recovery. So when you start your morning, a litre of water within 20 minutes of waking. I drink another litre by the time I'm done in the gym. That's my 2 litres by the time I even get into the office or whatever I'm going to do. And when training fasted, our natural human growth hormone, or HGH as you might hear it, production is elevated, which is optimal for fat loss, optimal for cell reproduction, and it's going to help us grow and improve overall body composition and physical health. Body composition for a lot of you is so key at the moment. You are in those sort of stages of losing that body fat, but now we need to bulk you up a little bit, get some lean gains and get that body composition sorted. So this is going to really help boost that human growth hormone. Just to wrap up, you are going to notice a surprising amount of energy. Okay, when you're training in the gym, hard pumps from glycogen that's being released from storage in your muscles from your meals the night before. And if you don't train fasted, that's okay. You just may be somewhat full of food during your workouts. Training fasted is ideal, but it's not mandatory. But you will notice the benefit if you do try doing it fasted. Check out an app called Zero App to help track your fasts if you've got an Apple device. And there you have it. That's it. Now you are an expert at time restricted eating. There's nothing more to it than that, or intermittent fasting, whatever you want to call it. And just remember, ease into it, baby steps. Don't try to jump straight into the 24-hour big one, or fasting every day. It's not an easy thing to do. So just take baby steps, let your body get used to the changes, and you'll see some incredible results in no time. If you've got any questions on this, you want to go any deeper on any parts that we've gone through today, I know it's been a 35-minute long topic on this, but it's a valuable topic if you are in a weight loss plateau at the moment and you're not seeing results. If your energy levels are low and you just want to kickstart yourself, or if you've got a big social occasion coming up, use it. There's so many angles that fasting can benefit your life now. So give it a go. Drop me any comments down below if you want me to go through anything in particular, or if you've got any special questions for me. I'll be happy to answer them. And that's it for this week. Have a good week, people. See you on Friday for the wrap-up call, and I'll be touching base with you between now and then anyway. I'll catch you soon. Bye.